Let's go to Jo Hemmings in London. She is a behavioral and celebrity psychologist. Jo, good to have you on the show. Now, the question is, are we sort of setting up the younger generation to fail? Or perhaps the older generation like me, because we want to live the champagne lifestyle, but we only have the beer budgets?
Well, yeah, I think that's a fair point. I mean, with these Instagram influencers, of course, as you say, they are very often promoting posts, being paid to put products online. They don't always necessarily say so. So I think what young people are doing is buying into a slice of that life. So they're aspiring to be a bit like the celebrity that they're particularly keen on by having something that they're using. And generally, sort of individually, these things are not so expensive, but cumulatively, if they're following a lot of people and they're buying a lot of products, they tend not to be looking at the actions and consequences of what happens when they start spiraling into debt, because they are literally trying to go so far into having a slice of that influencer's lifestyle.
So that's the financial aspect of it, but there's also a reality aspect to it. I mean, it's pretty easy to fake a life online. How much of this is real?
Of the actual influencers?
Yeah.
Well, very little these days. I think when influencers first started, I mean, they were promoting themselves. They were trying to get, brands and products to give them something so that they get a name for themselves. But some influencers are now simply almost exist to be influencers. So they don't need to pay for anything ever. They will be given it all. But they just have to say, look, I'm using this. And somebody who, sees a product, sees a brand, wants to be part of that lifestyle, that's their way of getting in. We live in an instant gratification society. We don't sort of save up anymore for things that we want. These things may be redundant, of no interest in a few weeks' time, but nevertheless, you want it and you want it now. And that influencer is saying, this is part of my lifestyle. This could be part of yours too.
Do you have any patients that are trying to emulate this lifestyle?
It's not that I don't have patience. I understand it. I just think it's very smoke and mirrors. I want young people to realize that, this is a paid job for influencers. It's their way of earning their salary to promote these goods. They may not necessarily use them, even though their glossy pictures show that they are. And to understand that, to do something else, to customize something you already have, to buy a cheaper version, to sort of think creatively about what it is that you like that influencers presenting rather than spending your money. But I see how it's very tempting for them.
All right, Jo Hemmings live for us from London. Thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour.